Okay, that's good. Good evening. My name is Rebecca Roeder, R-E-B-E-C-C-A, R-O-T-E-R, and I live in Brooklyn, Susquehanna County in an upstream active gas field. I understand that FERC's mission is to regulate commerce and to bring cheap, reliable, sustainable energy to market. FERC's 5 commissioners are political appointees who can approve burgeoning numbers of natural gas transmission lines like the Atlantic Sunrise and give away private property rights through eminent domain for corporate profit and arguably for LNG export. I ask FERC to require that Williams Transco do cumulative environmental impact studies on all upstream communities like mine. The induced build-out of the Atlantic Sunrise will include more installation and completion of well pads, more pipelines, more compressors, more dehydrators, more natural gas power plants, more LNG processing and storage facilities like the one proposed by Gulf in my county, more cumulative air, water, and noise impacts, and associated public health risks. Require Williams Transco to provide access and transparency for an independent scientific study of the cumulative environmental, fugitive emissions, socioeconomic, and political impacts for all their projects along this route. In my county, that would be for now the Constitution and the Atlantic Sunrise project. Don't let Williams Transco off the hook for accountability to all upstream communities for a loss of quality of life through cumulative air, water, health impacts, real estate devaluation, truck traffic, road damage, etc. My county has no zoning and no setbacks for infrastructure except for compressors, a mere 300 feet. This is a dangerous industry happening in our backyards, front yards, and schoolyards, and no one is accountable to us for safety or transparency. Operators don't even have to tell landowners of spills or accidents that occur on their land. The Government Accountability Office recently faulted EPA for not stepping up fracking enforcement. EPA recently faulted FERC for ignoring upstream impacts, localized impacts of gas production, cumulative impacts, greenhouse gas emissions, and environmental justice populations. Well, I live upstream, less than a mile from the Williams Central Station, with about 20 plus wells within a mile from my home. The services of Wild Well out of Houston, Texas, were required twice that I know of in the past year in my township alone to deal with out-of-control wells. It takes 24 hours for the emergency crew to get there. No one tells us anything, whether it's a mercaptan spill, an out-of-control well, a blowdown, a compressor explosion, or fire. I had a sinus infection when I testified April 3rd, 2014 at the FERC EIS Constitution Scoping hearing, and I had another sinus infection diagnosed just today. I have lived in Susquehanna County since 1986 and have not had chronic sinusitis until now. I went home from the April 3rd Constitution EIS Scoping hearing to discover the water coming out of my kitchen faucet, well water, smelled like an organic chemistry lab. I am now using a water buffalo and bottled water. I understand that FERC's mission is to regulate commerce. The PIMSA, their mission is to, PIMSA, the Pipeline Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, their mission is to protect people and the environment from the risks of hazardous materials transportation. Unfortunately, PIMSA staff has been cut, and their own head of safety, Jeffrey Wees, told a newspaper reporter the regulatory process he oversees is kind of dying. He said PIMSA has very few tools to work with in enforcing safety rules, and that a $2 million civil penalty would not hurt a major corporation. I asked FERC to require Williams Transco to provide access and transparency for independent scientific studies of the cumulative induced impacts of this project, including greenhouse gases and climate change. Consider aggregated regional impacts when reviewing applications for PUC status. I asked for, I asked FERC to deny the certificate of convenience, eminent domain, at least until these studies for the Commonwealth are completed and analyzed with transparency. I additionally asked FERC to deny eminent domain if it is clear this project will provide LNG for export via Cove Port, Maryland. Thank you very much.